And welcome once again to Books Wale Bhaiya. I'm Abhishek. Friends, today I'm talking about a book which has the potential to transform your life. And before we move further, you would think, hey, I have been watching your videos and you would say that you are not a fan of self-help books. So why this change all of a sudden? Well, yes, as I said before, I'm not a fan of self-help books. And when I picked up this book which I'm talking about today, I just started reading a few pages. And trust me, I had my doubts over the whole idea. I said, okay, this looks interesting, looks good, but what's the point? What's the need to write a book about it? It's a very simple idea, and if we implement it, it's good, but what's the point? I still somehow picked up this book and decided to give it a shot, and yes, this book surpassed my expectations. This book is called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins is a New York Times best-selling author. She has also written a couple of best-selling books. She's also an expert on human behavior and change. Friends, this book gives you an approach on how to deal with others. Though this is not the sole purpose of this book, so this book gives you an idea how to deal with others. It's basically by adopting a very simple principle of letting them do what they want. The let them theory. Mel argues that letting people do what they want, letting people do what they are doing, or accepting people as they are, gives you a power over not others but on yourself. She says there's absolutely no point in expecting other people to change, because this is something which is not really practical. People don't change when you tell them to. People change when they themselves want to. She says every day in our life we find innumerable examples of other people's wrong behavior, something which frustrates us, something that gives us stress about something which we think a lot. She says in order to have a meaningful life, the very basic thing you guys need to do is to let them accept people as they are. Do not push for change. And the second part of this is, most importantly, after let them, you have to focus on let me. So it is not about others, but it is eventually about yourself. You are in charge of your destiny, so you have to decide what to do with your life, how to behave or how to react at your own level in a particular situation. She says that when you're free from all these bondages of what others will think, what if others have a positive view on me or a negative view on me, how other person will behave or they will react, that person is sounding very unreasonable at the other day, what do I really do? My boss doesn't like me, my friend doesn't like me, I was not invited to a party, I was not invited to some celebration, to some wedding. These things gives you a lot of negative view or stress in life. And she said the whole idea is to get rid of this. You don't have to become ignorant about other people, but you have to become ignorant or free from all kind of bondages and thoughts which actually give you stress. And from let them, then you move to let me, which is the second, but I would say rather the most important part of her entire book, as well as her entire thought or principles of let me. We lose focus on ourselves and we are too much bothered about other people's opinions. She says the idea is to focus on yourself, how you will do, what you will do in a particular situation, what you can do to take charge of things and bring any change which is required. Let them and let me, as easy as it may sound, has tremendous potential to change your life. And trust me, when I read this book a couple of weeks back, and I myself actually tried to implement this thing in practical, and trust me, it did show me some positive results. But here she draws a word of caution. Mel says it is not something which is very easy. You just say, okay, let them and things will be sorted. No, it is not like that. It is a skill. And it is a skill which takes time not only to learn but also to perfect it, to master it. So she doesn't she doesn't say that there's a quick book, there's a quick guide to make your life better. It's not a quick fix, it's not a shortcut. You can say that let them and let me are like skills which you need to learn, to implement, to follow, to help in leading a better life. Very interestingly, the best part about this book is, as I said, it's not only the idea but the way she explains it, and also she gives you plenty of practical examples from our own life as well as from others' life, which actually help you that, okay, if I'm faced with a situation, how do I exactly implement these ideas? Because only knowing something in theory may not be of much use unless and until I cannot implement it. And this is the part which I would say I liked most in the book, because when the idea appears too simple, you may say, okay, this sounds good, but how do I use it in my life? If I cannot use it, it's not of any use, it's nonsense. No, that is not the case. She has in fact given detailed examples of her life as well as I said of others, wherein these ideas are implemented and how they helped. And the best part is the ideas she gives you, you will be able to connect in some way or the other with Mel, because you will realize that, okay, she is a person just like us who faced challenges in life, and yet she rose through those challenges and became a better person, a much more successful person. So all in all, I would say it's a very, very practical book. Her ideas are not very simplistic, they are very deep ideas, but only if we understand and take pains actually to implement those. And most importantly, it's not an idea which is just a result of her imagination, or you may say, okay, it just worked for her, so it may not work for us. These ideas are backed by scientific and psychiatric and psychological research. In fact, she has given examples of various doctors, medical professionals, psychiatrists whom she talked to understand whether these theories are practical or not, and if yes, how do we actually implement, and most importantly, how in terms of psychology or human behavior do these ideas actually help. Other than talking about these ideas, she also gives you a lot of other practical suggestions on dealing with relationships, dealing with situations, dealing with tough people, and how you actually can use these ideas to go through these situations. All in all, I would say I found this book a very practical one. And yes, I repeat, I told you I'm not a fan of self-help books. I did pick this book just by chance, but in the end I can say that yes, I'm happy that I picked this book. Let them and let me. 2 words, but yes, trust me, they have definitely the potential to change your life, provided you are willing to work on them.